Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso.
They wanted people to make cartoons depicting the Prophet Muhammad in a negative light.
Gunfire erupts outside a cartoon contest for depictions of the Prophet Muhammad, leaving 2 people dead. We have the latest developments.
One man is hurt, another clinging to life after a shooting at a downtown nightclub. Why some local clubgoers are concerned.
And after 2 El Paso foster parents were accused of sexually abusing children, ABC 7 is taking a closer look into the system here in El Paso. What's working and what needs to change.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC 7's Good Morning El Paso.
A controversial cartoon contest in Texas depicting the Prophet Muhammad ends in deadly fire.
This morning, the FBI is working closely with local police in Texas to identify the gunman and to find out if it was a form of Islamic radicalism.
We have been following this developing story overnight and we'll have the latest in just a bit.
But first, some rain showers hit the borderland overnight. This is a live look from atop the Franklin Mountains.
You can see that no clouds are hanging over too much, at least in this shot, but of course, are those rain chances expected to stick around?
That's the question this morning. Welcome back to Good Morning El Paso, everyone. I'm Hillary Floren.
And I'm Stephanie Valle. It is 6:01 on your Monday morning, and May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
Like that?
She already posted it on Facebook, Crystal.
I am not even going to make fun of you guys. I'm just going to let it happen.
Shouldn't.
Let's talk about your forecast. We've got a lot to discuss in terms of those rain showers outside. Clouds and radar overnight. We had a nice set of rain move on through. Now it's mostly scattered out there. Boot Hill of New Mexico on through to near Deming, Luna County area, and then some scattered showers also over the Sacramento Mountains. But we did just see that live look outside. Las Cruces to El Paso, we're starting to clear out some. Still some clouds, still an isolated chance of rain. We're going to dry out for the morning chance, then we'll pick that chance back up in the afternoon hours. Temperatures, we're at 65 in El Paso, 12-mile-per-hour winds. Las Cruces at 55, partly cloudy, but clouds are starting to move out with light winds just 3 miles per hour. Later today, those winds will be picking back on up. We'll check in on how high the gusts go by our hourly windcast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Crystal. Looking forward to that. And now let's get to those headlines of the day.
Yes, the deadly shooting in Garland, Texas. Investigators still trying to figure out the cause of the surprise attack which injured a security guard.
Both suspects died in gunfire with Texas police. We go to ABC's Susan Salney now with the very latest.
Men and women scattered, afraid for their lives after gunfire broke out Sunday evening at a controversial Dallas area event. Police, their guns drawn, swarmed the chaotic scene.
This is very scary. We heard boom, 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 and then all of a sudden we see the cops everywhere.
A group called the American Freedom Defense Initiative was holding a contest for cartoons featuring the Muslim prophet Muhammad. As the event in the Dallas suburb of Garland was scheduled to end, 2 men in a car arrived and started shooting.
They drove up, got out, and opened fire on the security officer.
After the security guard was hit, Garland police opened fire, killing both gunmen who have yet to be identified. The FBI is assisting the ongoing investigation and is working vigorously to determine if this is some form of Islamic radicalism or something else completely.
You said just a minute ago the bodies are outside the car?
Yes,
on the ground.
yes. And simply because we're not going to expose ourselves to a bomb that's inside a car.
Overnight, local police set off some precautionary detonations. They had been monitoring the event for several months and added security as a precaution. But they said they had no indication of this particular threat. After the shooting, a bomb squad worked on the car amid a heavy police presence. Drawings of the Prophet Muhammad are considered insulting to many followers of Islam and have sparked violence around the world.
The injured security guard has been identified as Bruce Joyner. He was treated at a hospital for a gunshot wound to the leg and released. Susan Salney, ABC News, Washington.
Back here in the borderland, El Paso police have yet to identify the man they say is behind a shooting that injured 2 people outside a downtown nightclub. It happened Sunday morning around 2. Police say 2 groups of people were fighting in front of the Tres Mentiras club when the gunman opened fire. Investigators say a 29-year-old man was shot first. And that's when the gunman was tackled and dropped the gun. And then someone else picked it up and began firing. A 26-year-old woman was shot, and she is suffering life-threatening injuries. We asked local club goers whether there should be more security checks at night spots.
The well-being of all the patrons that are going to the bars should be the primary focus of the bars or the entertainment places where you're hanging out at, because if you don't have that security, who's going to come and pay, right?
A 21-year-old man has since been charged with aggravated assault in connection with the shooting. This is the second bar shooting since last November, and that's when Army Specialist Martin Guerrero was arrested for shooting 5 people outside Club Chaos in downtown.
Happening today, county commissioners are scheduled to vote on the creation of a pretrial office. The goal is to reduce jail costs by eliminating unnecessary jail time. Commissioner Vince Perez says people are sitting in jail too long as they wait for their first court appearance, and taxpayers have to pick up the tab. He says a pretrial office could help the county save millions by allowing nonviolent offenders to get out of jail a whole lot faster. And El Paso County is on a mission to save the ducks at Escarete Park. The county will close down the park today and tomorrow to begin this rescue operation. ABC 7 spoke with County Commissioner David Stout, who said the domesticated animals are usually abandoned at the park by people who no longer cared for them. In many cases, the ducks are malnourished. The animals will be rescued, provided with veterinary care, and some will be placed in permanent homes. The county will install warning signs at the park notifying people it's against the law to abandon animals.
Investigators still don't know what caused a row of buildings to catch fire early Sunday morning. Crews arrived at the 2200 block of Montana to find smoke coming from the back of the office buildings. The buildings were for lease and no one was inside at the time. The fire was brought under control in about 40 minutes. The estimated damage to the building is about $5,000. The homicide rate in Juarez is on the decline. For the month of April, there were a reported 18 homicides in Juarez and a total of 103 for this year. This is the lowest monthly total since 2005. The highest number of homicides this year was back in January with a total of 34. El Diario newspaper reports no women were murdered in the month of April.
A manhunt is on for the suspect accused of raping and brutally beating an elderly woman with a hammer. Albuquerque police say 55-year-old Ernest Casillas attacked the woman in late March. Police say he was her handyman. The woman was found covered in blood and suffered a broken nose, fractured neck, and her dentures were knocked out. Casillas was supposed to surrender to police on Saturday, but he never showed up. If you see him, you're asked to call police. A disturbing case of alleged sexual abuse at an El Paso home has many asking if the city has a flawed foster care system. Sandra and Antonio Huerta were arrested just last week, accused of abusing 2 children in their care more than 10 years ago. The Huertas have been investigated 16 times in a 10-year period. This was the topic of last night's ABC 7 Extra. Good morning, El Paso's Denise Olivas is live with more on this story. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning, Hillary. And both of our experts in our studio last night agreed the foster care system here in El Paso could see some reform. In our studio last night, child welfare specialist and attorney Richard Deck and Steve Ortega, an attorney who represents children. He says there has to be a balance into how much potential foster parents are scrutinized because there is a shortage. Ortega says there are less than 100 licensed foster homes here in El Paso. Meanwhile, Richard Deck added that there are many privatized agencies that bring in foster homes and contract them with the state. He says, and that makes it challenging to track down each and every single foster home.
Some foster homes will jump from agency to agency, and sometimes the agency may have told them, we're not going to accept you as a foster home any longer. So they'll move to another one, and that new agency won't know that there were some issues. So that might be a loophole where we can look at closing if that is occurring.
And because of that foster home shortage here in El Paso, many children are sent to homes in other cities in Texas. Stephanie, back to you.
Okay, Denise, thank you. And taking a look at traffic with the help of our TxDOT traffic cameras, a much lighter picture out here at I-10 and Joe Battle, where you can see traffic is starting to pick up over there on the east side. Look at how busy those westbound lanes are of I-10 and Zaragoza. Just make sure you're careful as you get on the freeway today.
Local Boy Scouts are on a mission to keep El Paso beautiful.
A look into the group's mission and the message they have for you.
And it's your voice, your vote. What you need to know about the District 1 race for City Council before you head to the polls on Saturday.
But first, can we expect any rain today? Any more rain? Meteorologist Crystal Glye has your detailed forecast.
Rain chances are still in it, too. We're going to look at where is the best shot of those showers moving through coming up after your break.
Thanks, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.